Except for trees and the usual bugs and oversights, I'm pretty much 100% complete with Lake Keveran. One, you might be noticing a lot of changes here. For one, the sailboats. Note the Space Explorer. This is my top favorite of all the sailboats. Here's an Earth-like planet, a gas giant, the star that the planets orbit around, various stars all around it, and a kid-style flying saucer with a flame going through it. Now, of course, it's just kind of kids kind of stuff in a way, but yeah, that one is my top favorite of them all. And this one I want you to definitely pay attention to. Platform Masters. Got a little sample platform level, kind of the scenic kind of stuff that you'll find in the game itself. Scenic. I want you to remember that. And this is another detail I added. Champ begins July 20. I guess that's another little hint as to what the story is going to be, at least a little more about it. And one thing you might have noticed here are fish. They're not very common, at least unlike Barugan Reef. Laboratory Tester is another one of my favorites, actually my third favorite. It basically involves scientific analysis kind of stuff involving, if you can't read this actually is supposed to say Advanced Carbon Extraction. This is reactive results. Here's a little pie chart kind of thing here. There's a little table here showing various tests with the control thrown in, because after all you got to have a control so you can figure out new methods and see how effective they are. This method is worse than the control, and this one's kind of tied, or at least statistically the same basically. And this one's really bad, and this one's above normal. It's got a check here instead. And there's a little graph showing various lines over extraction over time kind of thing, using various test methods. Piece of carbon right here. That's that black lump there. This is various test tubes and flasks. That's basically the detail that goes into that one. And by the way, when you're looking down or you're actually underwater itself, you can actually see the details on the sailboats themselves. Of course, I still got my test level. Here, I'll show you. You can see the boat's bottoms right there. Balloon Festival is basically a whole bunch of balloons. Hot air balloon kind of thing. Note the August 16 on there. Why did I come up with that date for? 8/16. They're both powers of 2. That's the significance behind it. It's kind of like another advertisement, much like the Platform Masters thing. And as you can tell, there's a lot of sailboats out in the background. This one's another one of my favorites, although it's kind of lower rank. This one's Sun and Surf. Various surfboards, the ocean, a big surfboard because it's really close. And what do you suppose this object is? Well, I think you should probably know it. It's the sun. Sun and surf. Get it? Well, of course, you'll find a lot of others in the background. Night Wanderer. This one I kind of like as well. But then again, I actually ordered these in the order from my most favorite to my least favorite. Here's a moon, various stars. Here you can see a river. You can see some kind of grass area out here. It's kind of like Carnivalesta, only out in the wilderness, basically. Be careful if you encounter a bear when you're out in the wilderness. Now, of course, that's a different subject. Scuba diver. It's just a little guy with a scuba tank here and the swim fins. And you can see, if you look real closely, you can actually see the little tube coming up to his face so he can breathe out of this instead of the liquid. And bubbles coming up. That one's kind of a low detail one. However, if you really want a low detail one, I can show you one. This is as low detail as you can get. Roy G. Biv. It's actually really simple. As a kid, you may remember this as that trick for remembering the order of the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Basically something like that anyway. That's basically the significance behind that. Watching for more sailboats. If you look closely in the lake bottom there, well, that aside, Moose and Miner. This actually for quite a while has been a teaser as to what World 12 is. World 12. Moose and no, it's actually Moose and Mines or Sentis Caverns. Both of those are the same. Here's gold, minecart, tracks, lakes, or something off in the distance. It's almost very much like what you see in World 12, only without the flooding part of it. Home sweet home. Here's a home. Here's a car, a road. That's basically all there is to that one. It's not particularly detailed. But look at that lake bottom there. You can actually see through that very well. That richly detailed texture. Oh, I love that. Cloudborn. Well, this is nothing more than a bunch of clouds on a blue sky. It's a pretty simple one. But it's very nice, at least for simplicity. And I should be getting pretty close to the end of the sailboats here. Stormmaster. This is the last one of them, if I remember. Lightning coming from ominous-looking clouds, and really wavy water there. Not to be confused with that stuff down below there. Yep, that's the end right there. All the other sailboats are out in the distance. Now, you remember that scenic reference, right? I'm going to show you scenic. Not the lake bottom, even though that is very nice as it is, but I'm going up. And this is the reason why I wanted to redo the hills, basically. But since I threw in a lot of other details to go with it, yeah, you kind of get the idea. But this is really where Lake Keveran is at its most glorious scenic view. Isn't this gorgeous? But even this isn't the best view of them all. And I still need to go up, grabbing all that junk along the way, and that's just test stubs. And going up. Air taxis hovering above, those are nothing new. Even at this extreme height, you still cannot see the stuff behind these, or the ground between these hills out here. However, I am highly considering making the supersize level get this high. After all, what better way to experience this rich beauty and gorgeousness of this particular lake? It's just so pretty, amazing. Oh boy, is it so nice. And yes, I knew about that. Yeah, you can, if you're aware of that, go ahead and do that. It's a shortcut. It makes difficulty 8 possible. Or at least to some extent. But this up here is almost about the height in which you're... still can't see behind them. Wow, they really must have had the visibility up a lot more. There it is, I can see it. That's how high it is. But this is where Lake Keveran's at its best. You just got swatted by this thing going up. And here's otherwise the end. For the upper area, for this test level area. So what do you think? One thing you might be wondering is, why did I want to have it go up so high? And what's with all the sailboats? Well, if you're looking closely here, you can see all these beach towels, beach umbrellas, and stuff like that all thrown in. These objects, well, that hints to the extreme popularity of this lake. Crystal clear water, after all, you know, it kind of has an effect. Access roads, this is a highway going by. Houses for lakefront properties, you know how expensive that is. Various little tiny islands. You can find buildings out here, such as this right here, for the, where lifeguard stuff is, restrooms, stuff like that. That's basically what it all is. And what about the extremely high areas? I need to go lots up. Underwater, you're really not missing out on much. That was interesting. Not to mention the usual air taxis. And yes, the scene does get darker, but that's nothing new. Going lots and lots up. It's the best way to go up. There's a scenic view there again. Air taxis way out here. You'll find lots of those things. And I mean a lot of them. As you can tell from this great height, you can see just how these hills are so much closer spaced. Compared to before, that's a major improvement. It looks a whole lot better than this obvious gap in here. Yes, I do expect a gap, but I'm not expecting anything near as extreme like I originally had. But this video was created by Ulillillia. Thank you for watching.